Back when I was trying to stop drinking alcohol, the amount of excuses that I would have for myself are infinite. There were millions, well, I'm exaggerating, but there were just so many excuses and reasons why I wasn't willing to face the problem and put down the drink. But today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 biggest reasons that held me back for close to a decade. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to break them down and I'm going to explain why they are nothing but excuses that need to be squashed and pushed away so you can just get the hell on with things, get on with your life as a non-drinker and actually start enjoying it. So you guys will love this video. Now, just before we get into this video, if you want to get access to a free video training that shows you how to control your drinking using first principles thinking, then make sure to click the link in the description. I'll be talking to you about a lot of the mistakes that people make when they're trying to stop drinking, as well as the 2 phases of becoming sober clear. So if you want to learn more about that, click the link in the description and you'll get instant access to that. But back to the video. Now, the first excuse that I'm going to break down for you is this: I'm afraid that life won't look the same without alcohol. This is what stops millions upon millions of people from stopping drinking. In fact, I think this stops pretty much everybody from stopping. It's an underlying sense of fear that life won't be the same without the drink. They're afraid that if they go to a restaurant and they order their fish or their steak, that meal is going to be less enjoyable. They're afraid that maybe when they're going out for a date with their partner or a new person in their life, they're not going to be able to be as confident. They're afraid that maybe after a hard day of work, they get home and they're not going to be able to have their favorite, glass of whatever after that hard day, and they're going to be in a somehow worse position as a result of not drinking. And this list just goes on and on and on. But the underlying excuse is this feeling of fear. It's this feeling of being afraid that you're going to be in a worse situation as a result of being a non-drinker. Listen to me. It is not true. There is nothing to be afraid of whatsoever. All you've got are amazing things that are going to happen to you. You've got nothing bad that will happen to you as a result of removing a poison. So the way that I phrase this excuse is that I'm afraid that somehow life won't be the same without alcohol. And damn right, life will not be the same without alcohol. But what I'm trying to say is that that's nothing to fear, right? You've got nothing to fear. You're going to be able to deal with friends. You're going to be able to deal with hard days. You're going to be able to deal with interacting with people and so on. But you don't need to put a drug in your body to do that. You're going to be absolutely fine. You've got absolutely nothing to be afraid of whatsoever. But I know for millions of people, that fear holds them back. It holds them back from ever kind of facing the problem and saying, all right, I'm going to get rid of it. Now, the second excuse that I've got for you, I failed to stop drinking multiple times already. Back when I was trying to stop drinking, I had failed so many times, just countless times. I can't begin to tell you how many times that I tried and then failed, tried and then failed. It was just numerous times. And what can happen is when we've got a track record of failure, we can start off with a feeling like, well, I mean, I've already tried this before and I failed, so what's the point? This is an excuse, because if you think about it, the individual that hasn't drank for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 6 months, whatever, and they've already failed countless times already, but this time it's real, they're not going to drink again. These individuals, they just tried one more time, right? That's all that it took. That was the only difference, is they tried again. So this idea that you've already failed countless times already, it doesn't matter. I failed so many times and now it's been 3.5 years. There have been so many people that I've worked with in the Sober Clear program that have also tried. They tried AA, they tried a rehab, they've tried it on their own, they've tried therapy, they've read the books, they've tried and tried and tried, but they were willing to try one more time. That's the separating factor between somebody that's got that, long stretch of sobriety. They just tried one more time. So it doesn't matter if you failed countless times already. What matters is you try again. But what I believe is that you need to try a different approach, right? You need to try and reframe the way you view alcohol. You need to use the first principles thinking. You need to build out that paradigm. And if you want more information on that, make sure to click the link in the description to watch that video training that I've made that explains a little bit more about how to actually do that. But you need to take the right approach, and don't worry if you failed already. You can do this. You can turn things around. Millions of people stop drinking every single day. So don't tell yourself this excuse. It's okay if you failed countless times already, because this attempt, this might be the one. Which leads me to the third excuse, and it's that I think that I'll be worse off as a result of not drinking. Now, when I speak to people that are thinking about joining the Sober Clear program, sometimes these individuals will talk to me about their goals and their ambitions if they weren't drinking. And some of the stuff I hear is brilliant. People talk about writing books, they talk about building their businesses or starting a new business, or they talk about their relationship with their husband and their wife and their children, and they talk about getting, losing weight and getting back into great shape again. They really start to talk about how good life would be without alcohol. So I don't understand why people think that they'll be worse off, right? They'll be worse off because of the conditioning, the marketing, and the idea that somehow alcohol is beneficial. But when they really start to think about their goals and their ambitions and how life would look without it, they start to realize, whoa, 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 whoa. Life won't be worse off. Life will be infinite times better, hundreds of times better. You know, the dreams that people have got start to become a reality when they don't drink alcohol. That's what happened to me. My dream of starting an online business, starting a coaching business, getting into another relationship, getting into peak physical shape, this all happened after stopping drinking. It wasn't happening, 4 years ago. I was at ground zero. Life was just going downhill, and it's all turned around as a result of this simple decision. Life's not worse off. You only think this if you see alcohol as a good thing. Life becomes better and better and better. So don't tell yourself you're going to be worse off, because you're not going to be worse off. You will be amazed at the changes in the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months. You will not even recognize yourself. Which leads me to the fourth excuse. And the fourth excuse that I hear quite often is, maybe now is not the right time. I'm not quite ready yet. Listen, there will never be the perfect time, right? There will always be a wedding that's coming up, a funeral that you might have to go to. There'll be always something that is in your calendar in the next few months where you think that you will need alcohol to deal with that situation. Maybe it's a busy time at work. Maybe it's something else that you're doing in your life, so you can't dedicate the time to this. And we think that, well, in 3 months' time, in 1 month time, in 1 week's time, somehow it's going to be easier to actually face this. I'm telling you, it's going to make no difference whatsoever. You're going to be in a similar situation a month from now, a year from now. You'll always have things that are getting in the way. So don't tell yourself this excuse, because the best time to start is right now. There is no better time than the present. The quicker you start, the better. Now is the best time. It always will be. It always has been. Right now is the best time for you to start this journey. Which leads me to the fifth and the final excuse for the video. And it's that I can't do this alone. Well, guess what? You don't have to do this alone. There are so many things out there right now that you can use to get help to stop drinking alcohol. Sure, the Sober Clear program is one of those ways. I help people stop drinking. I help them do it without AA and therapy, rehab, willpower, this kind of stuff. And that's one option for you. And if you want more details on that, click one of the links in the description. However, there are many other ways that people can get help to not do it alone. My own mother, she went to AA for 20 years. She still goes to AA. She's not drank for 20 years. She didn't do it on her own, right? AA wasn't for me. It's not for everybody. But if you're afraid of doing it alone, you can find help. There are therapists out there. There's Smart Recovery. There's Facebook groups, there's other communities of other people not drinking, there's probably local support in your local area, there's the Sober Clear program. There are just infinite ways for you to not do this on your own. So if you are worried about doing it on your own and you've tried to do it alone in the past and you failed, find help. It takes a lot of courage to ask for help. For many years, I would always struggle alone. I would never find help. My ego couldn't allow me to hire help and find coaches and do this kind of stuff. I wanted to do it on my own. And this was such a mistake, such a stupid state of mind that I was in. I think it's a British way of doing things. It's like, oh, we'll just do it on our own. We'll deal with it. And I could have saved myself years of mistakes in the gym and mistakes with work, and if I just found the right help. So find help. I know it's hard to ask for help. I know it's hard to reach out, but do it. You won't regret it. And if you want my help, like I said, click the link in the description. But whatever you do, don't use these excuses. Have a great day.